Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm very happy to see you on different social media platforms. And hello from Ecuador and other parts of the world to all the viewers, all the visitors of today's webinar open discussion that will be dedicated to AI art aesthetics. And while everybody is just joining us, I want to give you some updates about the residency that is going on within the AI Hokusai Art Tech Research Project. We continue elaborating concepts and technical details of every project that will be included to the final exhibition. And we have very challenging task now to adapt artworks and the 3D environment to each other to find possibilities to maintain the beautiful, very realistic aesthetics inspired by Hokusai with amazing projects that are included to the final exhibition. And artists, residents are working now very hard to make the final result impactful aesthetically, visually, and technologically also. Yes, today we will speak about very controversial topic. And probably if you were following this topic on social networks, you see that some people, a lot of people actually, they hate AI aesthetics. They can definitely say, oh, it is not real image. It was created with some AI tool. Oh, I can recognize it as not like artistically created image. It is something synthetically and it is something like substitute of real art. Sometimes we even see some harm from AI created images in terms of politics and social issues and so on and so far. So during our previous open discussions, we already were speaking about responsibility of artists, creators, designers, illustrators working with AI tools, responsibility, social responsibility on creating these multiple images that are amazing, that are appearing on social networks in huge amounts. And today we will speak about this controversial topic in terms of what are the opportunities and what are challenges, what are things that can be dangerous for our society and artistic practice, and what can be really beneficial. Today we will speak about many topics related to AI aesthetics. We will also have some games, some quiz for those experts who are joining us today to recognize what AI tool was used for creating images. And that will be very interesting also for our audience, I suppose. And I think that today's lecture, today's open discussion will be useful for those artists who just starting their journey exploring different AI tools. And I think that topics that we will touch today will help to choose those AI tools that can be applied and in some specific cultural and art projects. Today we have a beautiful panel of speakers, and let's see all of them. Yes, hello Andres, hello Denise, hello Rox, hello Vladimir. And we are today like united almost all the continents as always in AI Hokusai project. And let me introduce you to Andres Borbano, researcher, art educator, and interdisciplinary artist. And he was also SIGGRAPH this year, SIGGRAPH chair. And he has great experience and great and very profound knowledge about digital art. And it is great pleasure for us to have you today, Andres. We also have today my colleague, Vladimir Apredelionov, who is also curator of AI Hokusai project, expert in tech innovation and cultural development. He's also founder of Tech for Art agency that helping creative industries to find technological solutions. And today we have Roxana Vasquez and Carlos Westgrot. Yes, and we have Denise Semyonov, who is new media artist merging AI and VR in immersive art and installations. And let's see who else will be joining us today. And my name is Anna Shvets. I'm art manager, art producer, founder of Teachers Arts Management, and also AI Hokusai project curator. And yes, thank you to all our speakers today. And we will go to each of you a little bit later. Now we have a little game, little quiz, and I will show you some images and we'll ask you to recognize them. Let's put the presentation. Yes, now you can see our topic, and let's go straight to the prompt. So together with Vladimir, with my colleague, we asked different AI tools to respond to this prompt that was the same for every art AI tool. Photo of how artist Katsushika Hokusai creates his prints, photorealistic image. That was the demand. So let's go. Okay, we have this beautiful image. Who can recognize what AI tool was used? I also encourage our audience, if you have responses, to write them in comments to this event.
Well, probably Midjourney, one of the most popular, DALL-E or something. It's hard to tell exactly which one of them.
I would say DALL-E, right?
Okay, Roxana, what do you think?
I'm thinking about. I think it's not Midjourney, but it could be DALL-E or even Photoshop. The Photoshop app.
Or now even the Flux.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, but beautiful image, you know. You can see, even you can imagine how was the Hokusai's artistic project, and you have this beautiful imaginary world around him. Okay, let's go to see what it was. Okay, yes, it was Midjourney. And here we have some important features that I really invite our audience to explore. Why it is popular. It is leader among AI tools renowned for ability to create detailed, very cinematic and atmospheric images. Yeah, we saw it from image. Rich textures, dramatic lighting, futuristic and fantasy themes, widely used in concept art, book covers, illustrations, and so on. High quality and aesthetically expressive outputs. Yes, speaking about aesthetics, it is richly detailed, often cinematic with painterly quality, focuses on dramatic lighting, texture, and sci-fi themes. Yeah, widely used, and yeah, you can recognize these stylized compositions with focus on atmosphere storytelling. So those who are not still using Midjourney, welcome to explore it, welcome to experiment. Here you can see website, and you can jump there and create some prompts and to see what will appear. That is very interesting experiment, actually. Okay, let's go to the next one. Wow. That is one of the next. And okay, what do you think, guys? Which AI tool was used here?
It looks like a Stable Diffusion.
Okay. Any other versions?
I concur. Stable Diffusion would be my option.
We can also receive some comments. DALL-E. What else can be here, guys? Okay, audience, our visitors, our viewers, I also encourage you to participate. Okay, really beautiful environment. In this tool, we can really recreate the atmosphere, recreate the studio Hokusai to see multiple wood prints of the most famous wave by Hokusai. Okay, let's go to see. Yeah, absolutely. It was ChatGPT and DALL-E 3. Known as one of the first successful text-to-image generators, allowing users to create both realistic and surrealistic images. And yes, you can really combine unrelated concepts into a single image, fine-tuned control over the style and details. And yeah, speaking about aesthetics, sometimes it is surrealistic, sometimes it's hyper detailed compositions. Yeah, we saw that it was, and there were a lot of details in the studio of Hokusai. Yeah, it combines photorealism with imaginative, often dreamlike elements, generating unique, high-quality images from text prompts. Okay, so please go there, experiment, and see what you get from the prompts that you are proposing to this AI tool as well as to the others. And today we will speak about how to make these prompts that will be responsive to the desire of image, what you want to receive as a final result. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, so beautiful. I'm not sure that Hokusai was looking like this man, but all the rest is very, very realistic. It is almost like photo.
Maybe it's Flux. Well, Flux, as I understand, it's one of the updated versions of Stable Diffusion. So
Yes,
maybe
exactly.
I again put on the Stable Diffusion.
Yeah, I would say Stable Diffusion this time too.
I can see that Stable Diffusion is very, very popular. It is very interesting for our research. You know, with Vladimir, we are spending days and hours and weeks and months like discovering what are the most popular, what are the most interesting to the artists. Okay, we have also version of Da Vinci. Any other versions? Okay, let's go. Let's go to see what is it. But yeah, Andres?
Firefly could be an option. Adobe Firefly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking that's okay.
Yeah, you good.
You were
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I was
bingo.
thinking on that one for the first one, but yeah, this actually looks a lot like Firefly.
Yeah, absolutely. Very beautiful tool, very, very popular, used a lot by professionals, like combining popular Adobe products with Photoshop and Illustrator. Polished, clean visuals designed for commercial and creative industries, wide range of generative styles tailored for professionals. Text to image, vector designs, AI enhanced editing with Adobe ecosystem. And yeah, commercial grade outputs with art emphasis on versatility and consistency. Yeah, this tool is amazing. And yeah, for those who are not using this tool yet, you can have here link or
Well, in the sense that it is really integrated in Photoshop and you can use it.
Yeah, at the beginning they released it as a separated tool just to test out the AI options, and later on it's integrated. Yeah, inside of the Photoshop.
Firefly based. Yeah.
Cool. So guys, you're using it, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I think it's very good.
It's convenient.
Yes, it is very good for some kind of same style images, because when you work with Midjourney, it's every time it's different style, really, in some moment. But when you can use Firefly, you can set up it's like a same style with different subjects. It's very
and the Firefly is kind of popular for its work with fonts.
Yeah.
Unlike many AI tools, which are now kind of just start to learning with letters and a whole bunch of text, Firefly is really good with fonts.
Cool. Thank you, colleagues, for your comments, because it is really important to listen to you from your artistic practice, that you can say, okay, this one is really like helpful tool, or this one is more efficient in some tasks. Okay, let's go here at a simple image, but it was also created by this prompt. What it can be. I know it's difficult. Okay, as far as there are not any specific features to recognize the style of AI tool, let's go to see. It is Art Breeder. So it is a little bit more simple than the previous ones. And here we can see that it is dreamlike portraits and surreal landscapes, uncanny, soft-rendered human or fictional characters with painterly or hyper-realistic look. Here we cannot see any realistic, but it is more like taking the inputs from Hokusai artworks, frequently used in character design in films, fantasy art, and so on. Game creators also using it. Okay, let's go further. Okay, this version of Hokusai, how do you like it?
Oh my God, how many tools are there already? It's just a
What's-
beginning.
Yeah, and we are
How
just
many
showing.
different options we have?
Yeah. And here we also can see the print. We can see these beautiful details like his studio and these paper panels. And here we can see really Japanese person making this artwork. What
Yeah, and this
instrument?
interesting composition of the
Mhm.
wave.
Yeah, it's not standard and interesting that the system understand context.
Yeah, it's looking like he's making a fractal out of this wave, trying to build the eternal wave. Wave
Uh-huh.
inside of the wave or something like that. Yeah, looks crazy.
Very beautiful. Okay, any versions? What can be?
Ideogram could be.
Could be. Okay, let's see. Let's see what is it. Aha.
Runway.
Nobody
Okay.
was
Oh,
expecting because
it's
one way
very
more.
interesting because it's like a first photo, photo from for the video, and so you see
Yeah.
it's like a stop point of video. So
Like
it's
still image.
interesting. Yes, as aesthetic for
You tricked us.
yeah.
Yeah. So speaking about aesthetics, highly customized outputs, aesthetic depends on the trained model known for video-based AI and real-time generative effects. Denise, you're working a lot with this tool. Can you suggest it to our audience, to those who are just starting their journey to AI universe?
Yes, of course. This is one of the best tools, and I usually work with it. And not only for generate some video, but it's very convenient with different AI tools. For example, removing the background automatically or something like that, everything with AI. And in terms of generation of the video, I think we had a lot of test compares on Twitter with people who are working with generative video AI, and we came up with a conclusion that Runway is extremely good and probably trained on a lot of data from something like fashion, because it is really, really good in maintaining something, creating something beautiful, but a little bit like a stop motion or something like that. There are some more realistic but less fashionable models. For example, like Minimax by Hilo. It looks less glamorous, but more cinematic.
And they love pink very much. So
Yeah.
every
Yes,
time
of
when they
course.
don't understand what what they can do, they give you pink images. So.
Exactly.
It is interesting.
Interesting.
It is.
Interesting, by the way, you mentioned in the very beginning that people are really controversial about AI content. And have you seen, of course, have you seen the latest ad by Coca-Cola, which was made by AI? And
Uh-huh.
there was just a big buzz in the media about this ad. And people were kind of angry about the AI generated ad because it's so less, and why the so rich company like Coca-Cola should lower their costs on on the content they don't understand. But the funny thing, that I've kind of lined out for me is that people are really controversial because it's totally okay for them to drink Coca-Cola, which is made synthetically out of something they don't really understand what it is, but it is not okay to watch AI generated video ad.
Yeah, funny enough, no?
Yeah, absolutely. We are controversial. We are people.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Interesting, by the way, how it was made, in which application. I don't know
Okay.
what they used.
Okay, let's find out about the Coca-Cola advertisement about the AI tool. Okay, let's see this one. Here, the same prompt, but different image. And here we have hand, we have this kind of pencil, and we have...
Very good hand. You see.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's again a trick.
Yeah. With no extra fingers. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we can see like up to 8 fingers on one hand. That is kind of very, very, very interesting. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's see what is it. It was Kriya,
It's Korean.
one of the new writing AI tool for generating and curating large-scale community-driven data sets for creative projects, particularly in visual arts. And yeah, it is quite interesting because it is also like work with community-driven art projects that I think it is interesting. Vladimir?
And we see that they have a big database for from macro photos from artistic process. It's very interesting. Yeah.
I use Korea mostly for because it's one of the best free upscaler that is possible. One of the best upscalers is the Topaz Labs, both for video and for images. But Korea, it's a good point to start because first of all, it works good on description of your image. So sometimes when you don't know where to start your prompt, you just can put your image to Korea and it will generate the basic prompt, what it see on the image. And it makes a good upscale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, Denise. Thanks for your comments. If Rox or Andres, if you also have some previous experience or some information to this about these tools, please also share with us.
Sure. Something I forgot to mention about the previous one, the Runway ML, is that it's very important participation from Chilean artists and technicians. You're based in New York, but I'm very interested on where technologies come from, and usually participation from people from different parts of the world. In particular, in my case, interested in Latin America. Runway is one of these tools that have this interesting background.
Yeah, and they have also very interesting AI films fair and some awards. So I think it's very important to that they give opportunity for some kind of festival of AI art video.
Moreover, as I understand, they are now kind of engaging the incorporation in the traditional movie making, and they kind of created a grant, and there is no deadline exactly because they're kind of ongoing grant. They're giving really big money for production, and they are searching new filmmakers who are trying to incorporate using of AI into a kind of full movie.
Yeah, one of the next topics of our open discussions will be HR for AI because as you're mentioning now, big teams of Hollywood and other big production companies, they are just fired due to the possibility of AI. If Before they were working like 50% digital artists creating something by hand, okay, by digital tools, by digital platforms, instruments. Now some AI tools can replace teams of
Well, I wouldn't be so so fast in this question.
okay, we will go to this
You
topic
need
during
Don't
other
fire
expertise
everyone.
on Teams, but you also
You will
need
need
team.
people. Anyway, you will need people to work with AI. I think one of the huge kind of milestones in AI filmmaking, I don't think that they will be really firing a lot of people. I think that it is a possibility more to create bigger amount of content, and people who wasn't able to create some kind of a content themselves will be able to do it. It's like what is called one-man production. Now it's really possible. So, for example, if you want to make something, I don't know, a music video about Ibiza or something like that, but usually you need to travel there, you need to kind of take drones, cameras, actors, and other stuff. Now you can just generate the video, but it doesn't tell that you will kill all the traditional pipeline. I think it will be kind of added
yes,
or
yes,
integrated.
yes, good comment, because for producers of big art projects, big cinema project, it will be very helpful, I think. Okay,
Exactly,
okay,
because anyway, there will be like if we have only one button, and this button will be create a movie, we will need a team of people who will be operating with this button, because you need someone who is taking decision, someone who is pressing that button, someone who is supporting the guy who is pressing the button, and well,
Yeah, in the system.
anyway, we
yes,
need people.
What do you think
okay,
about this image, guys?
uh-huh. This one in the style of manga images, manga wood prints by Hokusai, when sometimes you see this hieroglyph story around the image, and also you have this seijo, I don't know how to say it,
Mhm.
signature of artist.
Mhm.
It is beautiful. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Is this stable diffusion? It usually works well with comic-like images as well.
Okay,
Yes, I
what other?
think it's less
Mhm.
realistic
Yeah.
that it is a video generative AI model, because video generators are not so good with this style. They're really good with realistic video. So probably it's not a trick.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
would
let's
say
go.
Stable Diffusion
Yeah,
too.
diffusion.
Also on the stable. Oh, it's Gemini. Okay. We were fooled again.
Yeah, it is still very, very
Yeah.
interesting to see how prompt is translated to image by different AI tools. Yeah, Gemini, very popular AI tool, and highly adaptive outputs tailored to multiple data sets, seamlessly integrating texts, images, audio for presenting complex ideas clearly. So yeah, wide usage and very good, very interesting, and very multifunctional tool, Vladimir.
Yes, and I think that in the near future, Gemini will be best for generative, because Google have, I think, the best databases and access to every content in the world. So it's very important to understand how it works. But they every time uh, give us a last version, like like. mm, it's they do it not so quickly like other guys, but when
Hmm.
they do it, it looks great. Yeah.
So I've got
Yeah.
the trick. Probably there is no stable diffusion, right?
No, because stable diffusion,
Too
uh,
obvious.
we have a lot of tools, or everybody of us use stable diffusion and try it, but use different tools, not stable diffusion directly. I see. It's a very interesting thing in my experience, and we also take these tools from the all our information from the potential participant to art residency. For stable diffusion is very important. Everybody know about it, but nobody to write that they use it in the artistic process. Very interesting.
Interesting. What is left? Grok?
I think that it is all for now, guys, because I want to invite
Okay.
you to the direct conversation. Okay, for those who is interested to see more materials about most popular AI tools, I invite you to go to our website where we will publish this presentation and also other recommendations on AI tools that are most popular, most efficient, most user friendly, and so on. And now I would like to ask Andres, from your experience, probably you can share us. Did you have any, I don't know, situations when somebody were telling you that, okay, AI aesthetics, it is something harmful for artists? What was your experience in this sense?
Well, Anna, this is one of the things that I've been thinking for the last years. And I think it's not a simple answer, but I can tell you is in general terms, the intersection between visual culture,
Mhm.
computation, in this case related specifically to AI, and the arts is one of the most interesting crossroads of the present times. Let me try to explain a little bit with examples. Let's think about the hardware, right? Like the hardware in which all these tools that we just mentioned now are running. And this is very interesting to see that most of them run in farms of servers that use the GPUs, the graphical processing units, right?
Mhm.
And this piece of hardware, which is the building block of this generative AI boom, is something that comes from the challenges that the video game industry posed to reality, let's say, right? There was this need for sharper images in the video game industry and later on in computers, right? And
Mhm.
this solution came from companies that designed this particular piece of hardware that run faster than the normal CPU, right? And then we can see that, like the desire for better, sharper images ended up adding a new component to the technical hardware configuration that changed the game in the access of AI tools worldwide. And this is something that we will, I'm mentioning very fast, but it has like a lot of interesting implications. It's that not the needs to transform images follow the technological changes, but sometimes are the triggers of these changes. And this is something that is very important to me. Another thing that I think about is the fact that when we think, in the mathematical elements that make possible, let's say, the generative pre-trained transformer systems to work, we tend to believe that are super complex, right? But when you go and take like one, how one prompt works, right? Like with this idea of taking one sentence, dividing the sentence into tokens, small units, then assigning values to those tokens, and then using those values in a vectorial space, right? Like then you discover that these operations happen with matrices and vectors, which is kind of the same mathematics that works behind the image processing systems. Like, the basic image processing when you go to computational tools to manipulate images, you study vectors and matrices, and ends up to be a very important part of the tool that it's used in the generative pre-trained transformers, which is something very interesting to see. How eventually one mathematical system that is not that complex, I would say, that many people that is familiar with that, coming from the arts, are able to understand how this system work a little bit. So that is another thing that is important. And just to go, let's say, to give another example, is the work of Professor Ahmed El Gamal. He's a computer scientist, but he's been exploring the ideas of how can we quantify creativity and innovation in the arts, right? And this question at the beginning sounded a little bit kind of, water and oil, something that can't be mixed. He was able to see that you can study, for instance, history of painting, and identify the moments in which some innovations happened, and or in which some particular paintings were influential, and created schools, for instance, in let's say Hokusai, right? Like appears one kind of technique and style, and that is influential through times. And he was able to study that with art historians, and was able to create this model. You can agree or not, but to get some kind of quantification of these processes. And this is interesting because he later on applied these lessons that he learned into the creation of one particular AI tool that he created, that is Playform, for instance. So the reflection of history of the art, the methods that he developed, and then the creation of tools are intertwined. So those three examples that I'm mentioning, just to add some level of depth on how important, let's say, and profound this question that you were posing in this debate are important for the present and for the future of the arts and aesthetics, related to computation and AI.
Yeah, thank you, Andres. Thank you. This perspective is very interesting, mathematics behind art. And yes, absolutely. And really, if you not only see the example of Hokusai, who was replicating images by woodblock prints, they were really like multiplicating. And if we go to see Renaissance history, we can see all these Italian masters who had his studios, their studios, where their students were replicating their style, and different, little bit different manner, but still following the style. So this way of like developing the art aesthetics based on the previous experience, it is not something new that is appearing only now with AI tools. It was always the same. Every next artist, every next generation was like borrowing something from the previous ones. And speaking about mathematics, my personal experience, I was studying in musical school for 9 years. And only when I put my mind into mathematical headset, I started to listen to music. Really, I could repeat the music. I saw the mathematics behind music, and that helped me a lot in my musical creative process and so on. So mathematics is everything in arts, I suppose, from my previous experience. Yeah. Andres, and what do you think? What we can say to those people who are still very, very, let's say, they have doubts about the real artistic quality of art created with the usage of AI tools? What we can say to these people, to these opinions?
Yeah, what I would say is that it's healthy to have doubts about aesthetic values, and I would extend this not just to AI arts, but in general. Like one of the things that is more important of the presence of the arts in culture is that it triggers questions. And in this case is more important than ever, right? Like the presence of technical tools and AI based tools is so pervasive that an intervention by artists is super important. And then we will need to kind of also discuss the distinction between, you know, arts and then visual culture, right? Like one person that creates and generates one image and uses that for his personal use, for a presentation or whatever. This different relationship with the creation of the image is also very transformative in diverse levels of reality and the relationship with, you know, with the value of one image. And I think it's important to have doubts to pose these questions, and that actually enriches, you know, the debate and the the approaches, right? Like but if you are a creator, if you produce images, I would recommend experimenting, and you know, you will have one answer before and after, and it doesn't need to be positive or negative in one way or the other. But what I can tell from my experience is that this is changing the way we understand tools, and that is something that requires you know, elaboration. And but the only way to really explore this, you know, that is the meaning of the art practice, is engaging with them.
Okay, thank you. And you, as art professor, are you offering your students to explore AI tools? And do you think that art schools, art universities should include some specific set of tools into the program? What do you think?
Listen, in 2018, I created a master's class on AI, the arts and design already, and that's more than 5 years ago. So we were, you know, some tools survived. Let's say Runway, it was different at that time, but survived. You know, being more focused on just video generation, and there are others that disappeared. And it's interesting because in the middle of the thing, the generative AI boom happened, because it's more recent, right? Like after the publication of Google of this paper that was so influential, and, you know, ChatGPT and other tools are based on in the generative pre-trained transformers. So yeah, I do think it's very important, and always inverting the question as well, right? It's not just what AI can offer to the arts, you know, following what Meredith Trumbull said, is what the arts can offer to AI.
Thank you, Andres. Thank you very much for your vision. Let's go to Denise. Denise, can you share your experience with us? I know that you're experimenting a lot with different AI tools, and probably you can share your experience and give us some recommendations, and also to share your advices with our audience, with other artists. Denise?
I think I'm. Oh, yes, I'm here. Interesting that Andres was speaking about mathematics behind AI, and I was listening one of the talks on the TED about AI and mathematics, and the interesting question there was raised, whether mathematics were invented or opened. So they're kind of natural, or they were invented by people. So we're just like opening what is already exists, where we're inventing something new. And this is interesting in terms of how AI is being created. So we are kind of opening how everything works in university or in universe where we are creating something new. So to speak about what I think about AI aesthetics, I will need yes, you to open my slides and we can switch to the first one. And I came up with an interesting idea and I will share it with you. So what I'm speaking about here, humanity being able to maintain information made a huge leap from primitive cave artworks up to realistic works, and even started thinking about the whole concept of visuality. So, for example, on the right, you see the image, the painting created by René Magritte, The Treachery of Images. It depicts the realistic pipe and the French signature "Ceci n'est pas une pipe," which depicts like this is not a pipe because this is an image of a pipe. And it was done in kind of the same period when appeared suprematism and other styles which were reflecting on the idea of the kind of whole concept of the visuality. So thanks to that huge work, we got now a huge legacy of art and visual aesthetics. So, well, I was thinking, can we just grab all this, our baggage, put inside of the machine and ask AI to generate, well, can you generate something new? We don't know. To answer this question, we need to understand how AI learns and how human learns and what's the difference. And on the next slide, I'm thinking about what is the process of learning for an artist. So we combine information from the past in two ways. It's verbally and visually, and we combine it with our physical experience, and later we produce some new style. So for example, this is works by Malevich, and before he came to his concept of suprematism and his iconic black square, he was experimenting with just painting his portraits of members of his family and experimenting with styles which were created by different artists and previous artists in kind of history timeline. So this is a normal way for an artist. So he reflects on the world that we're living in. He kind of tried to understand it and try to find some vision that fits him personally. So how does it work with a machine? With a machine, it works kind of in reverse order. So on the next slide, you will see this is what is called denoising diffusion model. It's the core of nowadays all generative AI tools, which works like it's kind of opposite to Malevich. So how it works, AI doesn't live in a real world, so it doesn't have any information about it. So for example, if you want AI to understand what is a dog, you need a lot of visuals of a dog. Just like a human, it's verbally and visually. You need to put image with a text description. This is a dog, or detailed description. This is a dog, small dog, this type with, I don't know, pink hair or something like that, standing somewhere, or just any text description. So the bigger amount of images you have, the better AI will try to understand what pixels is a dog, because anyway, it can't understand the concept of the dog, because AI is kind of, it cannot test it out really, what is a dog. So it trusts human that what it gives him, what we give him as an example of images of a dog is a dog. So then you go. Then the next stage is training of the model, and training of the model works exactly opposite to a human. So it goes the image of the dog. It goes to just noise. There is nothing there, and AI needs to kind of get it back. It's a denoising process. So it kind of try to remember how it was. So it doesn't clear the noise over a real image. It tried to remember how the image looked like. And the more time you give for a machine to go through this denoise method, the more realistic and good results you get. So this option, this method is good because you can add text prompts. So somehow it looks, in easy words, it's like when we look on a cloud, we can imagine that this cloud is look like an elephant. To do the same work for AI, you need to put a lot of images of a cloud and a lot of images of a elephant, and then tell him that you need to create a visual of a cloud which looks like an elephant, and from the cloud of point of clouds, it will try to get back two images. He will take one image of the cloud, one image of the elephant, and blend them together. And the more time it was trained, the better results will be. So on the next slide, you will see my experiment with Hokusai. I tried to understand how good is AI trained with Hokusai legacy. So on the left, you see the original Great Wave of created by Hokusai. In the middle, I try to understand if someone was creating tutus with Hokusai. Of course, there is a bunch of photos on the internet, and the most popular, of course, is Wave. And on this image, it's not even a real tattoo. It's the prototype of the tattoo. They are selling like stickers to make your own tattoo temporary. So on the right, it's the image that I generated. And the funny thing is that I didn't use any images. It's just a text prompt where I asked to put Hokusai's wave as a tattoo on the back of the character, and asked to add their katana to make it kind of a little bit more in the style of a samurai. And it works perfectly. You see, it understands, even it hasn't seen the images, but the character really looks like the one from the image. So what can happen if you do everything in the reverse order? So this is a normal way for a human. So you find an idea, you add your kind of some details, and you get the result. So what could happen if you do the reverse order like AI works? On the next slide, I've did one more experiment, and I've took this Latin demoness. On the left, it's the original painting by Hokusai, which depicts a demoness which is holding a decapitated head of a child, and she's pointing at him and laughing. It's a really scary story behind this image. So the normal way how a human artist works, it's the middle. It's my work, which I created with a pen, pencil. This is, I try to imagine what could be if this was not a demoness, but like a rap devil. And the main interesting part here is that we all know that the weak point of all AI models is hands. And here we are getting close to what I think of AI aesthetic. So on the left, in the original one, you see that Demoness is pointing on the decapitated head because she's showing what she will do with all the children's, and she's making kind of, she's supposed to make you scary. In my version, I've turned it out to be a rock symbol. And well, this works kind of fun because I replaced the head with a microphone, and now it's performing like a rapper or rocker or something like that. On the right, it's AI visual, and I've asked to do the same like I did, but without any visuals. And you see, for some reason, it doesn't understand what the rock sign is. So maybe there is not enough images or something like that. But the beauty of AI, it's mistakes. Because when you do everything reverse order, eventually you will make a mistake. And these mistakes made by AI, I think this is the real aesthetic, something new created by a machine. And it's not really backed with a human soul. It's something really owned by a machine. So here you can see how the hand is kind of, it's distorted, it's broken, the fingers are broken, it's a mess because it's hard for a machine to understand what is a rock sign, what is the fingers, because machine doesn't have a fingers. It has just a lot of images of hands and fingers, and she needs to kind of understand and trust what it is. So these creepy, weirdo images, well, this is AI aesthetics. And on the next slide, it's one more experiment with Hokusai and AI. And you can see here on the left, it's the original one. It's the kind of, how they called it, so Japanese warrior who is fighting with the devil something, which is moon, or it's just a ghost or something like that. So again, I didn't give an image to AI and tried to ask him to generate everything just using the text description. And the beauty of this image is in how his hands are broken. They are not kind of right. The sword is in backwards. The legs are kind of not right. Everything is distorted. And exactly this distortion is beautiful because can I fix it? Of course, but it will be human work. It's exactly like I did with Demoness. I can do it by pencil or I can do it with AI as a tool. But if you want something generated truly by machine, it's mistakes. So what I think is somehow AI being trained opposite like a human artist, it produces something new because there is I think kind of a lot of artists who are really not even fun. They love these mistakes. They are making art with these mistakes because you cannot produce it yourself. It's not even there are surreal artists like Dali or directors like David Lynch or something like that. But these mistakes, they are not human. You cannot say what exactly will be broken and how. It's closer to something like a little bit more generative art or something like that, because you only ask to do something and it produces the result, and you don't control everything. And well, I think that yes, there is aesthetics, and the aesthetics is the mistake.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, really, we can all see all these glitches and mistakes and AI-generated images. Sometimes we can see a lot of memes related to this way of using AI tools. Denise, if I will ask you to name your favorite AI tools, what you will name, like five your favorites?
Well, I work a lot with image generators and video generators, and out of video generators, well, I love Minimax by Hailuo. I love Runway, Pixelabs, and lately I think Krea made an way to use all the applications. The Clean is interesting, one more interesting model, and out of the image generators, well, of course, it's image. Oh my God, Mid Journey. Midjourney and Flux. And why I mentioned Grok, by the way, it's interesting because Grok, we didn't mention this during our game. The question that I raised on the previous speech, because the censorship. For example, Adobe is an amazing instrument, but of course, it's really restricted because it's an official tool, and of course, there is censorship. And sometimes it's hard to kind of find this closed barriers because no one will tell you what exactly is restricted, what is missing in the model. And Grok was one of the first models released inside of X platform, formerly Twitter, which was announced like something close to uncensored. And immediately the X was full of images with violence, blood, and everything. And people and artists, they were trying to kind of find, is it really so uncensored? But in some way, yes. So for example, when I was working with Midjourney, as I told you, I was working on the storyboard of the movie. I was struggling to make just a scene with a gun, without any violence, without any shooting, just a dramatic scene with a gun. And in Grok, you can do whatever you want, probably. Of course, there are restrictions everywhere. There are restrictions. It's just the information that has been put in the model. What is inside the model. So it's exactly what I was explaining here. How's it trained? Because for AI, there is no difference between a flower or a gun. It cannot understand both because it's kind of abstract data. It makes sense only for a human. So we are making this kind of restrictions.
Yeah, thank you, Denise. It is very interesting what you're talking about, and thank you for these suggestions on other AI tools. We will include them to our blog post regarding this topic that we are discussing now. Thank you very much. And let's go to Roxana. Hello, Roxana again. You work a lot with visual aesthetics, and your future project for the final exhibition will be connected with imaginary world of Hokusai on natural patterns. Tell us more about your AI tools preferences, what you are using, what limitations you see, and what in terms of aesthetics it is more satisfying to your tastes.
Well, we use mostly AI animation apps at the moment, more than for generating images per se. But at the same time, what we do is also merge everything with other softwares. We like to find this kind of workflow where we don't use just the output of an AI, but filter that output through another software. Maybe we use that as a texture on 3D, like a Maya or Blender, and then we generate another different thing with that. Or maybe we use it on a touch designer, and then that changes. And so usually we try not to use like just the output of one AI, because we also like to do this back and forward conversation with AI also. And Denise was talking about these mistakes, and I think that is that at some point it kind of defines the aesthetics of a piece, or I mean, it happens with every tool along history, like these limitations or potential errors of tools often contributes to the aesthetic, right? So also, if we take as example like the printing press, its limitations led to smudges or imperfections with the ink. So those errors were part of the aesthetics of something that is printed. So I think here with AI, it happens kind of the same thing. So we really like these kind of glitches or weird things that sometimes you get in animation. And I think there are a lot of artists that instead of avoiding that, they are using it as, okay, so this is the new thing, because on the other way, we were just trying to imitate something that is correct or something that it's considered art already, right? So, and I think that this is also that happens. For example, the photography was also very revolutionary and controversial at the time. So I think it's like a good example, because there was a lot of people also thinking that it was going to corrupt like the traditional art. And also, it's very interesting to see that when photography emerged, early photographers were trying to mimic painting. So they would like use the same compositions, and so they make these photographic scenes using compositions inspired in other classical paintings, right? So there was not an aesthetic of photography. It was trying to imitate something else. And then they start to experiment, and they found that they could do new things with photography, not only replicate in the painting. And so that's where they found like the own voice of photography. But at the same time, this also make a lot of sense, because at that time, to have to being able to enter to the art world, photography wasn't considered art at all. So I think now something similar is happening. It's like it's an AI is on an early stage. We need to do a lot of experimentation, and of course we are taking the old and try to repeat it or imitate it, but we need to give it like time until we find like the true aesthetics of this new tool. But it makes sense, because also we want to take part of the art world, right? So if everyone is saying that this is not art, okay, at some point we are trying to make it happen. We're trying to prove that this is art too. But I think there's a process that cannot be avoided. Like, we need to experiment. The time has also to pass, and then we need to find which is the new thing that AI really can bring to the table in terms of aesthetics or new concepts. So I think this is a perfect time for experimenting, and also grab those errors and apply them and try to have fun with that too, and embrace that kind of things, and embrace also the process. I think it's all about the process at some point.
Yeah, thank you very much. And it is very insightful that you're using this cocktail of AI tools, and not only AI tools, but digital platforms, instruments in general. I think it is good advice for the beginners in this digital art field. And yeah, absolutely, this transformation is not avoidable, I think, because we cannot, as Denise once said, we cannot just take one technology and hide it and say, oh, it never happened. We already have it, and we are like almost obliged to explore it and to see how we can use it. Yeah. Thank you very much for your suggestions. Yeah, Rox.
Oh, no, that it's also that if we take examples from the past, it always happened. Like when some new technology emerge, usually like the artists go with that and experiment. So we are the ones that are like experiment with this. So I think, yeah, we should embrace that, and it's a good thing, even if we're feeling that sometimes.
I always say that artists, they are like experimentators and prophets. So they can see something from the future and start to experiment and start to explore. And that is fantastic, because sometimes artists can find out something new that technological team tech team from some application or some platform didn't think about. In further weeks, we will share information from our research responses from artists, how they are using traditional AI tools. And sometimes they are proposing new usage of these tools, and that can be really very insightful and very useful for those artists who are exploring this topic. I have a question to you, Rox. Do you think that the notion of beauty itself will transform somehow with the massive exploration of this technology?
No, I don't really think so. I think that, I mean, beauty, notion of beauty changes anyway, like with or without AI is going to be changing all the time. So I think that is going to happen. It doesn't matter which tool we have on hand right now. So I think every era has his conception of beauty. So I don't think it's directly related to that. But yeah, I can notice that for some people, these new AI aesthetics might look like ugly or weird or too like eerie and strange, because yeah, all these mistakes and these glitches, sometimes they are awful in some way, but I think it's part of it also, and it also happened in the past. So what we consider beautiful or not is very subjective. So yeah, let's see what happened.
Yeah, and it was very cool that you were mentioning when a period photography, it was also like kind of doubtful thing. And we can remember when the first cinema appeared and this train coming to the station was also terrifying people who were leaving the cinema hall, like running. Yeah, we always see something like that, this reaction, this like people to be scared of something new, but then we are trying to explore and so on. Thank you, Roxana, very much. So from academic and more art historical point of view and artistic point of view, let's go to technological point of view. Let's go to Vladimir. Vladimir, please tell us more. How do you can see the future of development of AI models in terms of working better way with aesthetics, with realistic images? Andres already started to mention mathematical and technological part, like a hardware part behind the technology. What you can give us as a specialist inside the technology?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, guys, for a very interesting discussion. So first of all, we understand that neural network generates visual based on some data sets. And I think that next step is thinking about what data sets they use. And it's like some very important point for museums and galleries and archives and all kind of memory institution like a university to think they want to open data sets for AI for more truthful generator or not. Because now I think that nearest future, when we see some kind of images, is work not only with like a image learning, but with also with context learning. For example, when we try now created some Hokusai view, we understand that system doesn't understand nothing about, for example, Japanese history. They don't understand about how it looks, how he was looking. So it's very interesting. And in near future, I think it will be very important which tools can work with context, with real history information, with real and really reconstruct some kind of environment, some kind of areas, and so I think it's next step. But I think that it is will be possible only for biggest companies. For example, maybe OpenAI, Microsoft, maybe Google, which work with general model, which use also text datasets and also images and also video and all kind of data and some kind of research. So I think it's very important and this next step of generative. But if you work a lot with generative AI tools, you see and you know about visual art, about cinema, animation, and history a lot. You understand where the system gives some reference, some images for learning. But and in this point of view, I can say that AI tools don't have some special aesthetics, but when we speak about some aesthetic of AI tools, which we are beginning our discussion, it's we can say about aesthetic of special AI tools in special moment, I think, because it's like for it is every time change when they upgrade model, upgrade data sets, and so it is very interesting to create some kind of museum of how network and generative grows and how it change every day and how it works with the different data. So I think this is very interesting phenomena. And in this point of view, it's not some kind of aesthetic in general, but aesthetic for different tools. And so that we can speak about it. We speak a lot about some that errors now looks like aesthetic, and I think it's very interesting point of view. It's I really see that it's work like this. That now errors, it's new aesthetic from AI. So I think that new mm, some kind of new aesthetic is a lot of metamorphosis of images, because when you use AI tools, any next photos, it's a little bit different by subject, by character, and we can see that it's like a every time change, a little bit change. And in this moment, I think that it's really can be a new aesthetics of video. For example, very difficult to create this view in real animation. And when you work with cinema and animation, it was very difficult, really artwork. But now it's like it is like artifacts from AI tools, but it looks very interesting. And many artists use this phenomena of AI video tools generation. I think it's very interesting. So, and I every time think about some kind of cycle of innovation and imitation, because all we know about from history that, for example, when mm, photography, photo technology comes, yeah, we saw that many artists say that traditional art die, and so it's very important thing. And in this moment we how to say, in this moment we t- opportunity for impressionist and for abstract painting. For it's like people try to do what technical thing cannot do. And now it's every time I see that some kind of some artists try to create something that AI cannot do now. And in this in this moment, AI try to train on this new new art, and so it looks like a cycle. And it is very quick process, and I don't understand where's ending of this. It's not. I think there's no end. But when AI really give us some and understand how people create new things, that should not. Same with what system create now, it will be really very important point of development of AI tools when they really can create not based system but like understanding algorithmic of creativity. So it's
Yeah, I have
my
a
point of view.
small question, like curiosity, my personal curiosity. Do you think that big technological companies who are developing these AI tools should feed neural networks with art history, imaginary, with I don't know, Wikipedia, wiki images, and everything, so the neural networks can have all this information from background, from history of art?
I think that AI tools is first of all money makers system. So it's first of all for ads, for some kind of different kind of design, and of course for example, for sales analytics and all other things. And anyway, only I think open source and special university project can connect real truthful data for AI tools for generate really truthfully materials. For me, it's very important for example, some kind of virtual reconstruction, AI virtual reconstruction of heritage. For example, I can give some piece of from archaeology and say it's looks like this. For example, from Greece, from ancient Greece, for example, some kind of piece. And please reconstruct it how it was bits. Will be very interesting. But now we don't have tools like this, and I think it's very important to work with big companies and have a special grants and ask them about some special special focus for historian and like historical way. But I think that it will be connected for education market, because when they understand that virtual reality for education market is okay and gives them money, they really create it. I think
Yeah.
like this. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Vladimir. Here I want to go back to Andres for some final comments, because I know that you also work with let's say connecting digital humanities and digital archaeology projects with technological initiatives. Do you think that it will really help if technological companies, AI developing companies will contribute to this research, to artistic research, to science art research? What do you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I have been working with photogrammetry for a while, for instance, for documentation of archaeological sites, right? With, drones flying over archaeological sites, creating three-dimensional models. It's something not that complex technically, but it requires a lot of attention to have it ready, properly done. And recently, some companies have been working with AI enhancements of these tools, so, with new versions. and the results on the creation of three-dimensional model is outstanding. The difference and the time. The other thing is that what is happening in several cases is that now there is a transformation of the pipelines on how we work in this media, let's say, for a pipeline in the movie industry, right? Like animation, where many people need to have access to the same models, work, many people work in the same scene. And there are tools that include some AI capabilities that facilitate this communication process between different stages and different actors of the collective process of creating, let's say, the media arts. I understand that something similar happens into music. So additionally, it's interesting to see the big tech companies, let's say Gemini, Adobe, following the trend, and also to see other kind of smaller initiatives, Runway that was mentioned before, or Playform, that come from another kind of source, also proposing interesting things. Like this ecosystem. I hope can survive for a while. That there's like a big and small companies kind of proposing things, and I think that makes the environment healthier. In terms of the tools that we can use, and also the solutions that we can, find in the use of these tools. And last but not least, at the end of the day, the uses and implementations are very important, and it's important that artists are able to find ways that are unpredictable to use the tools, right? Like the tools are made in one direction, and eventually artists are able to use those in different directions. And I think that is kind of the creative aspect, and that adds surprise to the scene that we expect from creative people to do.
Yes. Thank you, Andres. Thank you for your input. And I have one last question that I want to address to artists in this studio. It is from our co-curator, from Evgeny Merman. Do you find AI art and AI aesthetic detachment from personal, real, and artistic experience a strength or a limitation? Let's start from Roxana. What do you think? Your microphone. Unfortunately, your microphone, it is not working. Let's go for the moment to Denise, and let's check what's going on with sound. Denise, what is your answer to this provocative question?
Well, I would like to link this question to the topic of my work, and about the monsters and demons. What I was thinking about while listening to participants. Thank you for your talks. And I was thinking that, AI doesn't invent anything itself. So everything it generates was made by human. So as I explained how the denoising model works, if generative AI created a realistic image of a dog, it was created
Together
by some
with my
photographer.
colleague, we will deliver.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, continue.
So, what interesting here that if people doesn't like what AI produce, if they think that this is soulless or something like that, interesting is that we're kind of looking at our own creations. It's not something that is given from space, or we're digged out of the earth, or I don't know, produced some aliens. We produced all the data which is inside of the AI. So somehow when we look on any image, if it is beautiful or broken or something like that, we're kind of looking inside of, we're looking in the mirror, and we're looking on our demons. And if we don't like it, maybe we need to find some answers inside of ourselves. Why we don't like it, why we think this is soulless, because we produced this. And moreover, we even created the AI. So all the questions we need to address to ourselves. So of course, well, AI, we are limiting, we are only limiting AI. So probably AI, like a human, we can do way better that we are doing, but we are limiting ourselves. And I think we're doing the same with technologies, because of course there are a lot of restrictions, and of course there should be rules. I know, for example, I'm leading a group on Facebook of virtual reality art, and it sounds easy, but when you're doing it, kind of open it for someone to post there something, you need censorship, because there will be a lot of kind of trash, misinformation, and other stuff. And of course, this stops the speed of evolution, because in evolution, there is the censorship is easy. You will die.
Yes.
And here
yes.
we try to preserve everything, and that is beautiful because we're humans, but this is less fast in terms of kind of evolving.
Yeah, it is absolutely interesting to see this technological evolution. Roxana, what do you think? Is it something of strength or limitation? That, yeah, your microphone? Oh, no. Probably some AI tool decided to mute your voice. Okay, okay. Let's finalize. Yeah, let's finalize our conversation today. Please, I will invite all the speakers of today on the stage, and I really want to say thank you to all of you, to all your perspectives, because I think that we touched very interesting angles of this very provocative and important topic. We were speaking about technology behind. We were speaking about the development of different AI tools. We were speaking about preferences and suggestions on AI tools for creative process. Thank you very much. I will invite all the audience who want to learn more, who want to explore some additional links, to go to our website and to read more information regarding the research process that we are doing, and those instruments that we can suggest to you. And follow our social networks to see how the projects are developing in our AI and art residency. And next weeks, we will announce also online questionnaires where we will invite art audience to participate, and to participate in our research and to give us more feedback on the topic that we are exploring during this month. Thank you very much. Vladimir, Denise, Roxana, Andres, all the colleagues who were supporting on backstage. Thank you very much, and see you next week. The topic will be also interesting. We will announce it tomorrow. Thank you, and keep exploring. That is the interesting part. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.